What's going on, my movie nerds? We're going to talk about Deadpool Wolverine. I know I've been, a little late to the show. This movie's been out for a few weeks, but at least now I can kind of give you my full thoughts and do a spoiler review without doing two videos. With that being said, if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so. It helps me. If you like this content, please leave a like to the video. It helps YouTube algorithm. This channel's new. I am learning. I am growing. And I cannot do it without you guys. So please, if you like my content, start giving my videos a like, start subscribing, leave a comment. Tell me, I'm pretty. Tell me what I can do better. Tell me, just talk to me. I created this channel to meet people and to grow and to do something I love doing, which is talk about movies. With that being said, let's get into Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine is the first time we see both Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in the MCU. It's been a long time coming, and thank God Hugh Jackman wanted to come back to do this. As Ryan Reynolds has stated in some interviews, they were at a point where they didn't know where to go with this story. They were going to shelf this movie for a couple years, and luckily Hugh Jackman had a change of heart, called them, and they got this movie made. This movie follows Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, going through kind of a, I won't say midlife crisis, but going through a crisis of his identity. His girlfriend left him because he's not who he is or wants to be. He has no clue. He's not been fully there. One of the surprise cameos, he goes to Earth 616, has a talk with Happy Hogan, and gets told he is not Avengers material at this time, but they would, kind of keep an eye on him. And then, kind of go into what the trailer shows. He gets kidnapped by the TVA. This movie's full of cameos, which was, honestly, this movie did a good job balancing those. One of the best things of this film is giving kind of the cameos a supporting role. Now, the past X-Men villains, they were just pretty much there for punching bags and action scenes, which is fine. Going to spoilers now. If you have not seen this film, kind of turn away and come back. But, the basic Resistance team, Daphne, I forgot her name, who plays X-23. Channing Tatum played Gambit finally, which honestly, I could tell he had a blast doing. He did a good job. He was one of the highlights of the film. Jennifer Gardner, which I already knew before the film she was returning, of course, wasn't bad at all. And the one surprise besides Channing Tatum, was Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade. And then also Chris Evans returned as Johnny Storm. Wesley Snipes and Channing Tatum, those two cameos I did not see coming. But it was pretty awesome seeing Blade come back. And of course, him having the joke of, there is only one blade and can only ever be one blade. And then just this film had so many different jokes that I've seen some reviewers say that it wasn't great. They didn't get the humor in some of that aspect, but honestly, I felt like every line served a purpose and was pretty funny. This movie is up there with the other Deadpools. I honestly might find this one more funnier. I'm terrible with grammar. I'm sorry. Than the previous Deadpools, just because of the opening sequence alone of him using Wolverine's dead body from Logan to kill a shitload of TVA agents while dancing to Bye Bye Bye. Honestly, the first 10 minutes of this film, I fucking died laughing, and I've never done that with any opening of a film ever. That being said, like I said, the story of this film is a little bit of a downgrade from the first two Deadpools, so it will probably, I gave Deadpool 1 probably an 8.7. Deadpool 2 was probably an 8.3, and this would probably be an 8.5. So it'd probably be there at second, but honestly, all three films, I could rewatch them, and my order could change anytime. That being said, I'm not going to go into a full review since this has been out 2 weeks, but the gist of it is, we learned that Logan was the anchor being to Deadpool's universe, which is a new thing introduced into the MCU. which something else I just found out recently was, if it's true, the original Avengers King Dynasty, the goal was to bring back Hugh Jackman, all the Spider-Man, and introduce that the TVA was collecting anchor beings from different planets because they believed that they were the only ones that could be able to stop the Council of Kings. However, I don't know if I fully believe that to be true, because I felt like if King Dynasty was supposed to be a little bit more grounded before getting to Secret Wars, and honestly just don't know if they was going to bring back Hugh Jackman, Tobey Maguire, and all that, and then bring him back for Secret Wars as well. So I take that with a grain of salt. Now, of course, it's all switched to Doomsday, which I'll talk about that in a different video. But, back to Deadpool and Wolverine. Action in this film, top tier. I loved what Shane Levy did with the action. There are like 5 great, amazing, big action pieces. The fight choreograph was amazing. Hugh Jackman's performance as Wolverine, he brought something different again, which was amazing. And honestly, I think somebody else said this too. His past movies, he's played an amazing Logan. This was probably the first movie where he played an amazing Wolverine, a comic accurate Wolverine with the costume and everything. Pros of the movie, of course, like I said, the comedy was top tier. Bringing in, the supporting cast of surprising everybody with fan service of, Blade and Gambit and Johnny Storm. Deadpool, of course, Ryan Reynolds, he was born to play this character. He's awesome. Everybody in this film was amazing. The villain, I'd say it's kind of in the middle. She was pretty cool. Her powers were like gross and interesting, but they didn't give her a lot of time to shine. My negatives into this film, I would say, like I said, the story lacked. I wish they would have showed more of Hugh Jackman's X-Men, because in the film it is revealed that he got them killed by not being there, and he goes on a murderous rampage of killing, the people that killed his X-Men, but also started killing, good people. I do wish they would have gave him like an arc towards the end of the film where he would at least seen one or two of, like, I wish they would have showed Scott talking to him, or Jean Grey one more time, just like letting him know that they were proud of him for wearing the costume. Just another sympathetic moment, and kind of bring it full circle for his character in this film. Which again, of course, I believe they're probably saving a lot of the X-Men from the old Fox movies for Secret Wars, and maybe it'll pay off then, which I really hope so. I wish they wouldn't have killed Cassandra. She could have been, honestly, a pretty cool, powerful villain for the multiverse if they would have done her right. But of course, like I said, Marvel's been in a mess for a little while, and they just seem like they haven't been able to get themselves out of it. Now, this film has now grossed $1 billion and is the #1 R-rated film ever, passing Passion of the Christ, which, funny enough, Deadpool is Marvel Jesus, so he beat Jesus. So it's pretty cool seeing that it's actually having that much success, and it's showing that Marvel is finally back in financial. But like, they got to show that it's just not going to be a one-time thing again. You can't go from like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to the Marvels, which honestly, I like the Marvels. It wasn't too bad. I'm hoping they've gotten their shit together and figured some things out to make this next phase a little bit more connected and a little bit more smoother than what, the last few years have been. Lastly, like I said, if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, it's worth going to see. I'm going to go see it again. It's honestly, I feel like, rewatchable. It's hilarious. Another highlight of the film, Chris Evans playing a different character of going back to Johnny Storm, was pretty awesome. And I think that leads me into my final negative thought. How I did like the mid-credit scene. It was funny seeing him, that Deadpool wasn't lying and Johnny Storm did actually say all that shit. However, it doesn't lead to anything. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, the movie itself was good, but it's also a mess. There's too many plot holes, which of course I looked over because it's a Deadpool movie. They got, you know, the rights from Fox, so it's just kind of like overlooking that shit. But it's not perfect by any means. Like I said, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. The only biggest gripe and thing, like I said, this is my thing I try to do on this channel, different than other movie reviewers. If I could have made this movie, the one thing I would have done to make it better with this story, at the end, let Deadpool's universe die. We're going to Secret Wars, hopefully Battle World, but I've seen rumors now that it might not actually be how it is in the comics, and that Doom might just combine all the universes into one world. Instead of having, like, to my knowledge, I've heard that it's different from the comics. Why not just let Deadpool and Wolverine fail? Deadpool's universe gets destroyed, and, you know, keep Deadpool and Wolverine with the TVA, or maybe drop them off in a 616 so they're all together already. I feel like that would have been a little bit more, you know, it would have given it more of a tragedy, made you feel for the film that they failed, gave them a purpose, maybe that they have a chance to right their wrongs and help the heroes of 616 in the, you know, the later Avengers movies. But also, Marvel films besides Avengers Infinity War, everybody wins. Like, the good guys always win. I want to see some movies where they fail. So, new Fantastic Four coming out, they're facing Galactus. Let him eat the fucking planet. Let them escape to Earth, you know, 616 or whatever, to set up Secret Wars. And let Galactus win. I really hope that happens in the Fantastic Four movie. I just need to see another film where, you know, and that would make sense because, you know, the new Fantastic Four, they fell and they use their, or maybe an incursion happens and they fail and they use their experience losing to help, you know, the future heroes win. But that's, you know, my thoughts on the process and where we're at with, you know, the MCU and my review of Deadpool and Wolverine. I really, like I said, kind of repeating myself, but this film was funny. It was good. I don't want to just leave on a negative note. Sean Levy, Ron Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, all the people involved in this film did a really good job. And like I said, I'll probably go see it again. It's rewatchable. It's as good as the first two Deadpool movies. So if you haven't gone and seen it yet, please go watch it. And of course, if you have not joined and subscribed my channel, please subscribe. I am trying to grow. I am trying to get better at this. I really want, this is, like I said, a hobby. Something I'd love to do. I would really love to see this blow up. And if there's anything you guys can think of that I can make my channel a little bit more better, unique, or different, leave a comment and let me know. I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts. Please leave your thoughts below about the movie. What you guys think about Deadpool and Wolverine. I tend to try to talk to everybody and hear everybody out, and I planned on to have some live events where we can talk movie news. So be on the lookout for that this week as well. I should have 2 videos with upcoming movie news that I've researched and found. With that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day.